Someone asked me a question today, and I thought I should answer it while I'm preparing today's barbecue. And the question was, is it possible to love animals and also love meat? And I thought that would be an opportunity to talk a little bit about kosher meat. Why do we eat kosher meat? And why do we eat meat? So, someone told me that the only way they are able to eat meat or chicken is by disassociating the meat from the animal. So basically, don't think about the fact that this was a breast or a chicken. Don't think about the fact this was a thigh of a cow. Just think about it as a piece of protein. I heard from someone once, he said that he's vegetarian other than steak, because steak doesn't look like a limb of an animal. So, what I would like to present today that in fact, not only you should not disassociate from the animal, but in fact, the Torah teaches us that you have to remember that this is actually a flesh of an animal, and this is how you will eat meat in a way which is meaningful, purposeful, and really has to do with your mission on this planet Earth. So first, a few things. Number one, we have a very strong prohibition of the Torah against cruelty to animals. In fact, one of the 7 Noahide laws, which are not only for the Jewish people to follow, but for all of humanity, is not to cause any unnecessary pain to animals. So the fact that we are eating animals is not because we disregard the animal's life or the animal's pain. The other thing I want to say is that there is no mitzvah in the Torah to eat meat, and if someone chooses to be vegetarian and not eat any meat or fish or vegan, they can fulfill all the mitzvot of the Torah. So that is very important to know. However, we look on the fact that we are eating meat, chicken or fish, is actually an opportunity to live up to the way we should live as human and as the Jewish nation. So we will explain today why this is an important part of the way we serve Hashem, and why this is not at all a contradiction for loving animals, caring for animals, to also consume their meat. So here's the idea. The Torah teaches us that the purpose of the creation of the world, and in fact the entire universe, and all spiritual and physical worlds, are all in order for us human beings to be able to bring God's presence into the world, which means bringing goodness and kindness and light into a place of darkness. Now, this is only human are capable of that, because any other creature was created, it has instincts that can determine the choices they're going to make. And the way they are brought up, the environment, their nature will determine the choices they're going to make in their life. And therefore, they cannot be the purpose of creation. Their life is predetermined. The only thing that is not predetermined is human being. We have free choice, and we can choose to do good, which means to bring God's presence to the world, to bring goodness and kindness and light, or we can do the opposite. Which means that the energy of any other creature could be elevated if it becomes part of human energy, if we are using the energy in order to bring light, goodness, and God's presence into the world, something that animal cannot do. So when we are eating kosher meat, because that's one of the commandments of the Torah, which means that we have a very specific way of the way we prepare the meat, and we are saying the proper blessings when we eat the meat, before and after, and then we are taking the energy that we take from it, and we are doing a mitzvah. We are bringing light to the world. We are putting a smile on people's faces. Then we are elevating that energy of the animal to a place they wouldn't be able to go by itself. And therefore, when you look on a piece of chicken, you don't want to disassociate from the fact that this was once a living animal. When you eat a steak, you don't want to think that it's a piece of protein. No, this is part of an animal. And therefore, it puts on me a responsibility, a big responsibility, to take that energy which is lower than human and elevate it. Through that I eat kosher meat. I'm saying a blessing. I'm thanking God. And then the energy that becomes part of my flesh and blood, I'm now going to serve God with it. I'm going to bring goodness and kindness to the world. Then I'm being able to elevate this piece of meat from being an energy of an animal, of a chicken, of a fish, into becoming my flesh, which I'm going to fulfill God's mission on earth with it. So it's very important to be conscious when we are eating. Where are we taking this? Where is this coming from? And with that, having the responsibility that comes with it to live a life of meaning and purpose.